Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Welcome to my channel, Bag O Day Crochet, where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with yarn and crochet. So today is going to be crochet. I have a crochet tutorial for you to follow along with if you would like. It's very easy and it's a beautiful shawl. Now it is quite large and I don't have a lot of room to lay it out, but I can kind of show you. It's kind of just like a basic shawl, but it's absolutely beautiful, and it makes its own border so on the ends here, so you don't really have to do anything for that. It's worked from the bottom up, and the measurement, I'll tell you the measurement of mine, and I'll show you the yarn I used. It's about 8.5 feet across the top from point to point. Yeah, that's a big one. And then from the top all the way down here to the point is 30 inches. So it's a lot longer than it is from top to bottom. It's, you know, it's a long top triangle shawl. But it is very, very pretty. As you can see, hopefully you can see it more from the pictures. Very sparkly too. And as always, if you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you look in the description box, the very first link, you will find a link to over 1,000 crochet tutorials, all free for you to enjoy. So for this particular shawl, I use, this is Stinley brand. It's their Muffin Magic Drop. It is, I classify it in between a 2 and a 3 weight. It's 80 acrylic and 20% lurex, because there's lots and lots of sparkle in it. So we have about 1,100 meters, which is about 1,250 yards, something like that. 1,300 yards, somewhere in between that, in between a 2 and a 3 weight yarn. Now you don't have to use this yarn. In fact, you don't even have to use that weight of yarn. You can use a 1 weight, 2 weight, 3 weight, 4 weight, whatever weight that you want. It'll work just fine, and you just make it as big as you like it to be. It's just a 2-row repeat. And then for the weight of yarn that I used for that particular shawl, I used a 5mm crochet hook. Now, depending on what yarn you use, you can use the recommended size of yarn, size of hook that your yarn says. But if you want a nice drape, I always say it to go up a full hook size. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do it on a yarn that's not so thin and not so busy. I'm just going to be using 100% acrylic medium weight number 4 big twist from Joann. So this is a 4 weight yarn. Now it recommends a 5mm. I'm going to be showing you with this yarn with a 6mm, 1 hook size bigger. Now remember though, for the yarn that I used on that shawl that I just showed you, I used a 5mm, but it was between a 2 and a 3 weight. So no matter what yarn you choose, I would always recommend going up 1 full hook size than what the yarn says on the back. It'll give you a better drape on your shawl. So why don't we go ahead and begin. So we're going to start off with a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to start by working a chain of 5. And I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Throw my tail over, I put my middle finger in between the hook and the chain, and then I slip stitch. That way I can keep my ring open there and I can work better from it. And I am going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. It's not going to count as a stitch here. What we're going to do is go and we're going to work through the center of the ring. We are going to work 3 double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, go through the center of the ring and draw up and do a double crochet just like normal. I'm going to do that 3 times. So that was 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to work 3 more doubles through the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 2 again, and again I'm going to work 3 more doubles through the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 2 again, and then I'm going to work 3 more doubles again through the center of the ring. So that will end row 1. Now you can usually pull your tail and close up that center circle a little bit more, and then you can sew it together later. So you can see what we have here. We have 4 sets of 3 double crochets, and then we have our 3 chain 2 spaces. This chain 2 space at the bottom is going to be the point of the shawl. So we're going to go ahead and start row 2. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We are going to skip this first double crochet here, and we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet like that, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, and then we are going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space just like that. And we're going to go ahead and start by chaining 1, which does not count as a stitch. And in this chain 2 space, this is how we're going to start every row from now on. We are going to work 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2, and we're going to chain 2 and go back into the same space and work 2 double crochets. There's 1 and there's 2, just like that. Now we're going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will put a single crochet into the next chain space. So that is the point of our shawl. See it right here? Single crochet into that space. And then we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to end in this, we're going to, right here in this chain 2 space, we're always going to end the same way. Into the chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space. So that will end row 2. And now you can see that we have the 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 5, single crochet into the chain 2 space, which is actually the point, chain 5, and then we end with 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Alright, let's go ahead and start row 3. Row 3, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Remember, we're going to start the same from now on. We are going to skip this first double crochet right here, and we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space like that. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into this chain 2 space, and we're going to work 2 double crochets just like we did before, a chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets. Just like that. Now we are going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So right here we're going to put a single crochet just like that, and then we're going to put a shell into the next single crochet. So a shell is going to be, for this particular pattern, 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So this single crochet right here, we're going to work a shell. So we're not going to do any chains after this single crochet. We're just going to go directly into this single crochet here, and we're going to work 5 double crochets. So that's our shell. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5, like that. And then we're going to go to the directly to the next chain 5 space, and we're going to work a single crochet. Then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to end the same way that we're always going to end, into this chain 2 space. We're going to work 2 double crochets. There's 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, and that will end row 3. So we can look at it now, and you can see that we have our 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, a chain 5, we have a single crochet here, a shell, a single crochet here, a chain 5, and then we ended like we always do, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Now we're going to go ahead and start row 4. So this is what it's starting to look like. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to start off like we always start off every row. We are going to skip the first double crochet and slip stitch into the next, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space, and chain 1, and work our 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles into this chain 2 space. Just like that. Then we are going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to put a single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So right here, we're going to put a single crochet, and then we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the middle of our next shell, so here's our shell, the middle stitch of it, so the third stitch of our shell, 1, 2, 3, we are going to put 1 single crochet into it, just like that. And then we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into our next chain 5 space right here, like that. And then we will chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to end here like we always end in the chain 2 space with 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. So this will end row 4, and let's see what we have now. So now we have what we always do here: 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. We have a chain 5, a single crochet, chain 5, a single crochet, chain 5, a single crochet, chain 5, and then at the end we have our 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Now we're going to go ahead and begin row 5. And rows 5 and 6 are going to be the repeat rows for the whole shawl. So we're just going to repeat rows 5 and 6. So let's begin row 5. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to do what we always do at the beginning of every row: skip this first double crochet and slip stitch into the next, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space, chain 1, and go back into this chain 2 space. We're going to work 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. Now we're going to work a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 5. we're going to put a single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So right here, we're going to work a single crochet, just like that. And then we are going to put a shell into the next single crochet. So right here, our shell is, we don't do any chain spaces after this. A shell is 5 double crochets, I'm sorry, into the single crochet. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So the next one, like that. And now we're going to put a shell into the next single crochet. So don't do any chains after that one. We're going to go right into here and put a shell. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5, like that. And then we will single crochet into the next chain 5 space, which is right here, like that. And then we're going to shell into the next single crochet, which is right here. Then we're going to single crochet into the next chain 5 space, and then we're going to chain 5, and then we're going to end like we always do right here with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So we can look at what we have now. So now we have 3 shells, as you can see. This is row 5, and this is the first row of our repeat. So now why don't we go ahead and do row 6. So row 6, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we are going to do what we always do. We're going to skip this first double crochet and slip stitch into the next, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space, chain 1, and we're going to go back into this space, and we're going to work our 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 more doubles, just like that. And we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to start the repeat for row 6. We're going to put 1 single crochet into the next chain 5 space, and then we're going to chain 5, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into the middle of the next shell, so the 3rd double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 5, and we're going to repeat this. 1 single crochet into the middle of the next shell, so the 3rd double crochet, and then we're going to chain 5. Again, 1 single crochet in the middle of the next shell, so the 3rd double crochet of the next shell, we single crochet, chain 5, we're going to single crochet into the last chain 5 space, chain 5, and we're going to end like we always do right here in our last chain 2 space, which is 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. So that is it. That's going to be the repeat for the shawl. We're going to be repeating rows 5 and 6. So for row 7, we're just going to be one row will be the shell row here, and one row will be the chain row. So for row 7, we're just going to repeat what we did on row 5. So what we'll do is chain 1 and turn. This will be the shell row again, and we're going to skip this first double crochet, slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch into the chain space, chain 1, go back into this space here, and we're going to work 2 double crochets, a chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets, just like that. And remember, we are repeating a row 5, so we're going to chain 5. And we're going to put a single crochet into the next chain 5 space right here, like that. And then we're going to put a shell into the next single crochet. Like that. And then we are going to put a single crochet into the next chain 5 space, like that. And then we're going to shell into the next single crochet, which is on top of this shell here. Remember, I'm just repeating a row 5. It just will make each time you repeat rows 5 and 6, the project gets bigger and bigger. Single crochet into the next chain 5 space, shell into the next single crochet, which is on top of this shell. So our shells are kind of like always on top of each other. Single crochet into the next chain 5 space. You can just repeat this to the end. Shell into the next single crochet, single crochet into the next chain 5 space, shell into the next single crochet, and remember, we just repeat this to the end. We're just repeating row 5. Single crochet into the next chain 5 space, and we are at the end of the row, so we're going to chain 5 and end like we always do into the chain 2 space with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So that was just row 7 was just a repeat of row 5, and then what we would do is repeat row for row 8, we would repeat row 6, which would be the chain stitch row. So from now on, every time you repeat row 5, you'll have 2 more shells than you did the previous shell row. So here was row 5, we had 3 shells, 1, 2, 3. And then we did row 6, which was a chain space row. And then we just, row 7 was just a repeat of row 5. So we'll have 2 more shells, we'll have 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do our chain stitch row. And then the next shell row will have 7. And so on and so on and so on. Now remember, this shawl is a lot wider from at the top, from point to point, than it is from top to bottom. Now it's supposed to be like that. That's the way it's supposed to be. The bottom is a lot shorter than the length across the top. So it'll go like out. So you make this as big as you want it to be, to ever, you know, whatever suits your liking. You can add fringe to it if you want. You don't have to, but you can put another type of border on it if you like when you're finished. Anything that you'd like to do, but just remember, you repeat rows 5 and 6 until you get to your desired length and end on a shell row. So this would be my finishing row if I was to stop. Let me bring up my other shawl and I'll show you. It's just, remember, the top of mine is about 8.5 feet across, but only about 30 inches from top to point. So it's a lot wider at the top than it is. I know some people don't like long shawls from top to point. So this one's a lot wider. So you can see all the shells, they all line up like they're supposed to. And once you make it to the top, I just stopped at a shell row and I didn't do anything special after that. And remember, you make yours as large or as small as you want. You can make a little cowl out of it or a big full-blown shawl like I did. And this is what the back looks like. This looks like backwards double crochets. I like it. I think it turned out gorgeous. But these are my colors and it's super sparkly. I like the sparkly yarn. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and if you make this, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what yarn you use, what size of yarn, what color, how big you make yours. You come show me a picture on my Bag O Day Crochet Facebook page. There's a link below in the description box to that. Also, don't forget to check out my over 1,000 crochet tutorials that I have on my channel, and I also have lots of yarn content if you enjoy that. So I will see you guys on my next video. Have a good day. Bye, guys.